This is Dakota News Now Sports.
Both South Dakota and South Dakota State had this past weekend off, getting rested and getting back to 100% in some cases. But now the real meat and potatoes of the season begins this weekend as the two South Dakota schools face off against the two North Dakota schools. South Dakota State had plenty to be happy with their 70-7 win over Drake up in Minneapolis, but head coach Jimmy Rogers said after the game that there were still some things they needed to work on before facing off against North Dakota. Speaking of the Fighting Hawks, they've given the Jackrabbits some fits over the last couple of years. Last year, North Dakota put up their season highs for points and total yards against the Jacks and had the upper hand for a while after getting out to a 21-7 lead. Rogers says this North Dakota squad isn't just tough competition in the Missouri Valley, but they could be tough for anyone in the FCS to face.
I think they're a difficult matchup for everybody in the country. They're just a good football team. They're well coached. Their guys play hard, and they have, relentless effort in all phases, special teams included. That's what I think makes them really, really competitive and one of the harder teams for us.
Now, North Dakota is 2-1 on the season. Their only loss coming about a week and a half ago on the road against Boise State. Tommy Schuster has been running the offense for the Fighting Hawks. He's completed about 70% of his passes so far this year and thrown for 5 touchdowns. Meanwhile, for the South Dakota Coyotes, it's been a solid start to the year after winning home games over St. Thomas and Lamar, coming off a loss on the road against Missouri. However, they have a tall order in front of them headed up north to Fargo as they take on second-ranked North Dakota State. Playing in Fargo the last few trips has been proven to be a tough one for the Coyotes as they've given up at least 300 rushing yards in their last 3 trips there. In fact, the last time South Dakota won in Fargo came in 2015 in an upset win. Head coach Bob Nielsen says they'll need to limit those opportunities for big rushing plays if they want to stick with the Bison.
They've always had the ability to utilize their quarterbacks as runners, and I think now they've built a nice complement to that with them throwing the football.
North Dakota State has been perfect on the season so far. Their last win came at home over Central Arkansas. Cam Miller has been having another efficient season in the pocket for the Bison. He's thrown for 4 touchdowns with a completion rate of over 80%, while also adding 158 yards and 5 touchdowns on the ground.